All right, guys, welcome back to Just Have the Conversation. This is episode number 5, and we are very excited. We made it to 5. Gotta be a little, what do you call that?
Milestone?
What is it?
A milestone?
There you go. A little milestone.
Okay.
The conversation that we want to start with today kind of goes with what we had a conversation last week, and it's going to be, where are you focusing your energy? Because we both felt that where you focus your energy actually really matters. And like, perfect example, we were having the conversation with you, and I was like, dude, I just feel like I've been seeing all this negative stuff. I never watch the news, and I've been watching the news, and I feel down. I feel depressed. I'm eating more. I'm not exercising. So, so learning to focus your energy really, really is really, really important.
Yes.
And I think it's kind of hard sometimes, because on your day-to-day encounters with, coworkers and friends and social media and the news, you kind of get lost and you kind of just start going with the flow. So if you don't learn to refocus your energy to where you want to be at, it can become a problem.
Yes. And it can lead to all sorts of things: headaches, insomnia, not being able to think clearly, forgetting things, weight, eating, not exercising, watching TV and eating more,
ordering pizza 5 times a week.
grabbing that extra container of ice cream at the grocery store.
No joke, Wendy. I wish I could show you. I went to the store on Friday night, or in the evening, and I got 3 different types of ice cream. 3. And not the little ones, like the big tubs.
Oh, wow.
And then I got chips. Crazy.
Those are the stress foods.
Learn how to focus your energy. I could have gone out for a run. Instead, I went to go get some ice cream.
Right.
Monday, and I've had all 3 of them.
But that's, we can laugh about it because it is kind of funny. But also, I think it's important. Every once in a while, you have to do that. You have to just do nothing, watch some trash TV.
Reset.
Yeah, just reset. Eat your ice cream with the chips and whatever else. Chocolate is my thing. And, just like have that day where there's no rules,
Right.
but you're not causing like a lot of harm to yourself.
True.
You're just
agree.
gonna be free. Right.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
It's
you
hard.
Need that.
I think it's hard. And I think this is something that I'm still trying to learn. You can be yourself and work out and be positive and be a good person and have growth within all areas of your life, and have one day or a couple of days where you're just not giving it your all, and you're still a good person doing everything that you need to be doing. Like, sometimes I would be eating like really good for a really long time, and then I would just eat trash for like 3 days. And then I felt so bad, and I made myself feel like, I failed and I'm gonna have to restart all over again. I think something that I learned, and I actually listened to this in a podcast, and I want to say it was Tone It Up, as these 2 girls, and they do the whole workout stuff. They have actually podcasts, they have videos and stuff on Instagram, and one of the girls said, it's okay for you to eat the ice cream. It's okay for you to eat the pizza. It's okay for you to do whatever it is that you need to be doing in order for you to reset your body and your emotions. Because if you're always on the constant, you know, be good, be good, be good, be good, there's going to be a time where you're just going to have to, you know, you're going to not be that great, and then you're going to kind of feel bad about it. So it's finding that balance where you have to refocus, where, you know, you're not being bad, you're just taking a break.
Right. Right. And sometimes you have to hit the reset button, because like with recent events that have been going on, you know, I can only speak from my experience. You know, we're both very empathetic people. We feel what other people feel. We care about people, and it affects us physically.
Right. Exactly.
And so all of my energy was going towards, these people that are suffering.
Right.
You know, my people are dealing with all this stuff. I'm dealing with all this stuff. And so my energy was like being drained out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going towards trying to, you know, make things better, trying to make the world better, trying to fight against racism and brutality and mistreatment of kids, and, you know, all this. And so my energy was being focused in all these other areas except myself.
Mm.
And so I had to kind of like take a step back and say, okay, if I'm not taking care of myself, then I can't help anybody else anyway.
Right.
You know, it's like that whole thing with the oxygen mask on the airplane that everyone has heard of. But it's true, and I have to make myself the priority and get enough rest, drink enough water, eat right, exercise, get fresh air, go outside, you know, take a mental break from things.
Right.
And one of the things I was struggling with was exercise, because I have to work from home now.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to love going to the gym. It was like my little sanctuary, right? It was what I used to call my church, because I would go there and I would come out just feeling refreshed and ready to take on the world, and it cleared my head and I felt good about life. But now it's like everything's here and I can't go to the gym, and, you know, so as far as refocusing my energy, that's something that I'm kind of struggling with still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's hard. I went through it. I actually kind of learned how to focus my energy, and this is like back in my late 20s, like late 20s, where, you know, wherever you focus your mind, that is what you're gonna like get out, you know, from the universe. And it is very important for us to understand that where you're putting your energy is where you are that's what you're going to get back into your life. Right. So last week, everything was going into, you know, wanting to know who was suffering, what was going on, because we are having these tough discussions with each other. So I wanted to be able to talk about it back and forth. So I was focusing my energy a lot in research and what the news was saying, and that small shift, like just watching the news and reading articles that pop up on my, you know, my Facebook feed or my Instagram, took away from the positive you know, quotes that I read on a daily basis, my morning routine that I do, where I wake up and I read something positive, or I put a YouTube video for 15 minutes that's about, you know, something positive. And it took such a toll on me. It was so crazy to see how many things were so different from the week before, from my eating habits, from working out. I'm not a workout fanatic. I have to make myself work out just because I like to eat a lot. So that's like my balance. And it also makes me feel great. You know, you going on a run, getting on the treadmill or lifting weights it makes you feel good. It's, you know, your endorphins kick in, you feel good. But it is really hard when you see so many things going on in the world and you know, you understand, or you want to understand how the other person is feeling. And it can be really hard. It can be really hard on yourself. It can be really hard on your family. You know, I wasn't taking out Samara for her walks that I usually take her out on. So it's just like little things like that where you have to be able to catch where you're starting to drift and bring yourself back to, you know, still caring about what's going on in the world, but also caring about you first. Like you said, it starts with you. If you're happy, if you are content, if you are okay with where you are right now, you're going to be that strong enough to go out and fight for other people's rights. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I love these conversations, because they are conversations that are really, really hard to have and that can drain you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, because we decide to focus, you know, towards the end of our conversations on how we want to change the world, on how we want to understand everybody else. So we try to finish with something positive, with something that is going to bring us closer, where it's just not all this negative stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, you brought up a good point about being able to, you know, take Samara on her walks. And then another point on, you know, being able to go out there and fight the good fight. And, you know, modeling that behavior is important to show that, you know, there is a priority in taking care of yourself. Because, you know, even though she's almost 2, she notices things. She's going to pick up on things.
Right.
You know? And, you know, it's showing her that it's important to take care of her mental and physical health, and so that she can stay strong, so that when things do come about, you know, she's healthy enough to tackle it. You know? And like for us, especially for people that are sensitive, like, you know, emotions affect us deeply. We have to make sure that we stay healthy and strong and get our rest. Otherwise, we're no good.
Right.
And then we take on all this guilt because we're like, I'm not out there helping to save the world. But we have to like make sure that we take care of ourselves and that we stay strong enough through exercise and plenty of rest and staying hydrated and eating well, that, you know, that we're strong enough to fight that good fight when we want to. And that's something I forgot about. That's something I just, you know, I got up on my horse and I started wielding my sword. I'm going to help you. Like, yeah, sometimes, you know, the samurai warriors and the Wonder Womans of the world, they have to take a break and, you know, reset.
You know, yes, you said it. I feel like sometimes we want to make everybody around us, I mean, you know, we've said it before, we're Pisces women. We feel other people's energy. We feel other people's pain. And it's like that warrior princess comes out. It's like, how can I make it better? How can I make you feel better? How can I make you happy? You know what I mean? That's just who we are. But it's so easy to get from trying to help you and forgetting who you are, what you need, and what your needs are. Finding that balance can be very, very hard. Some of the things that I've learned to do in order for me to keep myself happy and everybody else around me happy is having a morning routine. You know, I think for years, I mean, more than, I want to say 10 years now, the first thing, and I read this in a book where it says the first, I think it was 15 minutes after you wake up, determine how your day is going to go. So I learned a long time ago that the first thing that I need to do in the morning is be grateful. So, you know, one of my friends was like, well, how do you do that? Like, how, you know, we were having this conversation, and then she's like, you know, yeah, you get up and pray. You're like, oh, thank you, God, I, you know, got up another day. And then I was like, it goes a little bit deeper. And at the beginning, it kind of sounds dumb because I felt dumb when I started doing it. And the first thing like I would do was like, you know, thank you, God, for another day. Thank you because I'm able to see. Thank you because I'm able to wake up. My arms are moving. My legs are moving. I can breathe. You know, look at this beautiful house. Like every single little thing that I could think of, it was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to say like the first week of it, I was like, you are crazy. Like, don't ever tell people that you do this because they're going to be like, yeah, she's hella crazy. So, but I've done it for years. And then, you know, when I was working, it was hard for me to, especially at my last job, because it was so hectic and everything was, you know, there was a lot of stuff that was going on. And I would put motivational videos on, or, you know, YouTube videos on my way to work. And if I did not do that, I swear to God, I probably would have killed a couple of people because my energy was so negative when I got to work because of the things that happened the night before, because I was managing these clinics, that the minute I woke up, I was like, oh, it's going to be hell when I get to work. Oh, I'm going to do this. I need to talk to this person. Da, da, da. Yeah. So all the energy that I was putting into was so negative that it was like that. Hey, what are you doing? You've been doing this for such a long time. You know what you need to be doing. Get back to it. And it was just like that constant reminder. But, you know, I feel like a lot of people are like, be positive, put yourself out there, and you have to be happy and this and that, but they don't really give you the things that you need to do. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to say I'm a positive person. It's another thing to actually be a positive person and look for things on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. You know, like having this conversation with you, I'm very grateful. Like other people don't have friends that they can have a conversation like this, having this video happen. So it's learning to create little routines that you do on a daily basis in order for you to have like that mental check where you're like, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to be happy. Get back to it. You know what I mean?
I do. And, you know, I remember you mentioning that to me years ago at work about, being grateful. I'll never forget it. And I was like, I am not going to write down everything I'm grateful for. You know, and you're like, no, Lynn, you just have to write down one thing. And I did it, and it worked.
Dude, and even on your bad days.
It does. It works because it makes you say, okay, you know, this is a bad day, but, you know, I'm grateful for this, this, and this.
Right.
It kind of makes you check back in. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's the daily routines that you were talking about are really important, because I know like when I, you know, do my morning practice and, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm chanting and thinking about, you know, what my intention is for the day, what I want to accomplish for the day. It makes a huge difference because it directs my energy towards that intention. Mm-hmm. When I don't do it is when I'm scattered.
Right?
Yeah. I'm just everywhere. Or if I just decide, okay, today I'm going to start my day with a morning walk, which I had done for like the last 4 weeks or so. And it made a big difference because it cleared my head. It made me appreciate nature and the outdoors and fresh air and, you know, just so much. And I felt like, okay, I can take on the day and whatever, you know, problems arise. I can handle it. You know, whatever happens with work, I can handle it. And I noticed that when I don't do those things, when I don't, you know, do my routines, it makes a big difference, and my energy is so off because I didn't start out saying, okay, you know, where am I going today? What am I going to do today? what's my attitude going to be?
Yes. Dude, you have to check your attitude. I really feel like you have to check it out because as Pisces, we also have little attitude problems and we can get into our feelings.
I do not.
So also knowing, am I too much into my feeling that I'm acting like a little brat right now? Having those mental self checks make a big difference because yes, sometimes you don't feel strong and you have to be like, I'm strong. Look at everything that I've overcome. Sometimes you don't feel that you can go work out because you want to be lazy, and then you have to be like, well, you've been working out all week. What's one more day going to happen? Like, you know, how bad do you want it? What is your goal? Your intention, setting that intention for the day. What are you going to, I feel like you need to set your intention for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year. Writing things down also makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
Knowing that you can go back and say, because it's one thing for me to sit here and tell you like, oh, Wendy, I'm going to do these 10 things all this week. And I just tell you about it. And then come, Monday, you're like, hey, oh, perfect story I'm about to tell, personal story about us doing the whole 3 list that we were supposed to be talking about for the videos, right? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I didn't do it. Why? I didn't write it down. And to tell you the truth, maybe I thought about it once and I was like, oh, damn, I have to do it. And then I was like, oh, but life happens to every single person. And knowing that you have like a personal checklist where you're checking your feelings, you're checking your emotions, you have to check your mental health. I feel like not a lot of energy goes into mental health. It's real. Depression is real. Anxiety is real. I feel like there's this taboo around feeling depressed or feeling anxious or, feeling down on yourself or doubting yourself. Like, these are feelings that have to be checked as a person. And then other people also have to be able to accept that. Because, we all go through depression. We all go through moments where we don't think we're going to make it and things are just, everything is just falling apart. And there are people in the world that self-check themselves and they're like, oh, hell no, this is not going to happen. And there's other people that take time to get out of that hole.
Right.
Regardless of who you are, you're always going to be in a place where you're not going to be happy 24/7, or there's going to be
it's impossible.
Yeah, something that happens in your life that brings you down. And, I just feel like doing mental checks, health checks, like, how do I feel today? I have a bad knee because before I used to think I was, Wonder Woman. I used to run 10 miles a day because I thought I was like the ish.
On concrete.
Yes. Which I loved at that moment. I was young. I was able to do it. Now it's like I run, in my second mile, I'm like, damn, my knee hurts a little bit. Knowing where I'm like, okay, it's starting to hurt, start walking, girl. You need to walk. Doing those checks also matter. Your health, your mental health, your feelings, emotions. Everything has to be checked off on a daily basis. And maybe twice a day. Do it when you wake up and then when you go to sleep at night. I feel like that's something that I learned to do where I wake up in the morning, I tell myself what I need to do, I make sure that I'm listening to something positive on a daily basis, and then, at night I'm like, okay, how did I feel? How am I feeling today? Am I feeling a little down? And then you have to make sure that you also, for the next day, plan. If you are feeling down, what are you going to do to make yourself feel a little bit better?
Right. And also, what's different in your life that's making you feel that way? And there's nothing wrong with feeling down.
Right.
Nothing's perfect, right?
Exactly.
Bad things happen. It makes us sad, depressed, angry, what have you. So there's nothing wrong with it. But you do have to acknowledge it and work through it so that you can get past it. Because if you just kind of stuff it down and try to ignore it and pretend to be happy, then that's what you're pretending, and you don't feel happy. You don't feel good. So then, you know, everything that you're doing during that phase of pretending is not authentic. It's not real. You know, it's not sincere. And it comes off that way, and then you start feeling worse because you accept invitations to do something and you're not really feeling it because you are depressed.
Right.
Then you don't want to tell people, you know. And I think that's important too, is when you're doing that mental checklist or even writing it down, you know, have a whiteboard, and every day, you know, when you wake up, how am I doing mentally, how am I doing physically, etc. And then at night, same thing, you know. When you're doing that mental checklist, ask yourself, you know, what can I change today so that I don't have to pretend not to feel this way?
Right.
You know, if you have to reschedule a meeting, if you're able to, do it.
Right.
Right? Little things like that, I think, are important too.
Yeah. I mean, there are things that you can't change and that you're going to have to do. It's life. But, you know, just like on Sunday, you were trying to talk to me about what we were going to be doing this week. And I sent a text message and you read it. And all I said was just, you know, what I needed to respond back. But as a friend, you were able to feel that I wasn't feeling it. Because usually I'm like, hell yeah, girl, you know? And this was just like, oh yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. And, you know, to other people that don't really know me, they could have taken that in a negative way, like I was trying to be put offish or, you know, but when you tell, because I even told you, I was like, it's just been one of those weeks. I feel blah. And sometimes just saying I feel blah, all you need to do for you to be like, it was just something that in my head, I was like, okay, you're not feeling normal. You've been trying all weekend to be this like, oh, we're going to barbecue and we're going to do this. And, you know, and it was just like, okay, maybe, you know, I just need to chill and not do anything. And on Sunday, that's what I did. I just chilled, took a nap. I never napped. I even told you that I would nap for almost 2 hours, woke up and I was like, I thought I slept for 5 minutes. But, you know, learn to listen to your body. Your body literally tells you everything that you need to know.
It does.
Feeling, how strong you're feeling, if you're getting sick, if somebody is not right for you, if somebody's lying to you, if you're upset. Your body has this amazing, I don't even know what it is, where it's just like, nope, something's off, figure something else out.
Exactly.
Learning to understand it can also be very hard.
It can. And I believe wholeheartedly that, you know, we're talking about energy, right? Where are you focusing your energy? When you're when anyone is avoiding certain things and they're trying to deny that they feel a certain way because they think it's a sign of weakness, or they've been told, you know, depression is a state of mind, or, you know, whatever. When, you know, they're trying to like, avoid it or hide it or ignore it, your energy is way off, right? Because you're putting your energy into hiding it, you're putting your energy into denying it and avoiding it. So then when all these other things come up, you can't really focus on it. You can't focus on if someone's lying to you. You can't focus on, you know, driving and abiding by the speed limit and, you know, all those other little things that happen throughout the day because you're so busy trying to, you know, take care of this other thing and hide it, right? And so you're trying to split your energy.
Right.
And I think that if people could just kind of tap into that and say, okay, I feel like crap today. I feel like smiling, so therefore I'm not going to smile. You know, I'm not going to force myself to smile. I'm not having a good day, and it's okay, and accept that, then everything else is going to be sincere.
Right.
You know? And you're going to be able to, you know, feel those vibes of if you're not feeling well, or, you know, this person isn't right for you, or you shouldn't be, you know, walking down that way and you need to turn around and go back.
Right.
So I think that a lot of it just has to be with like paying attention and just, you know, going with how you truly do feel.
And I also feel like voicing it out
Yes.
can help. I feel like the days where I am feeling off and I tell people about it, they're kind of like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not going to talk to her today. The only one that doesn't respect that is Zamara, but you know, she's almost only 2, so we'll let her get away with it. But you know, like I feel like sometimes when, actually not really, Gabe is not like a very conversational person. So with Gabe, I don't have an issue. But like my mom calls me and she's like trying to have a conversation with me. And I'm just like, what, Mom? Yes, Mom. Okay, Mom. And then she's like, what's wrong with you? You know, and then I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm just not feeling good. And then she's like, oh, okay, well, you know, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then she'll let it go.
Yeah.
But when you don't say anything and you snap, then people are like, excuse me? Who are you talking to right now? You know what I mean? So also, you know, voicing, I know there's some people that you're not going to be able, like the person that's in front of you and they say something, you're not going to be like, I'm having a bad day today. You know what I mean? But the people that are around you, I feel, deserve a little red flag, like, hey, stay away today. You know what I mean? Also, that's directing the right energy to the other people, because you can be rude enough to offend somebody that you
Right.
So yeah, it's all about learning how to direct your energy, your feelings. You know, talking about energy, it was crazy to me. You were actually the one, and I'm probably gonna say it completely wrong. Remember, I was having like backache, and I couldn't. I wasn't able to like figure it out what was going on, and you told me to go and do Reiki.
Yeah, you said it right.
All right.
Yeah.
So when you first told me about it, I was like, she is crazy. I was like, how are you going to tell me what's wrong with me and you're not even going to touch me? Like, that's hella crazy. But at the same time, I didn't want to be rude to what you were telling me to do. So I was like, let me just try this and see how it goes, you know? And I remember I went to this lady in Milpitas, and it was crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like it. I remember sitting there, and she, you know, she came in. It was just me and her in her office, and it was very zen. Like there was like a little waterfall and like music playing. Like, you know, I was like, oh, okay. I felt good stepping into the office. And you know, she was like, are you having any discomfort anywhere? And I just remember checking a whole bunch of stuff. Like my knee was hurting. And I didn't put down, so my knee was hurting, but also my lower back was hurting. And I just remember putting the knee because that was the main one that was hurting. And that's when I was, you know, running a lot. And I went in, and it was my knee, my lower back, my shoulders, and I kept getting these headaches, like in the back of my head, which I was like, oh, it's tension headaches, you know, whatever. But I didn't put none of that on the paper. I just put my knee hurt. And then I put that I was running and this and that, right? So she lays me down on this table, and she starts like going, and I'm fully dressed, but she starts like just literally going like this with her hands, not touching me. And I felt the energy. It was it was like, you know, when you put 2 magnets together, but like one is backwards and the other one, it keeps kind of like
missing.
Yeah. So everything was good, and I felt this like warmth when she was like going by. But every single time that she would go to a place where I was, you know, having issues with, it felt like that, like disconnect. And, you know, I remember it was 30 minutes. I fell asleep. I was so like, she woke me up afterwards, and then she's like, yeah, so your knees definitely, you know, you need to take it easy. She's like, I noticed you have some lower back problems. Maybe you need to, you know. And I was like, and she's like, are you having headaches like around the, I was like, oh, hell no. And I was like, dude, like, this is so crazy. And I wanted to be like, how do you do this? And I remember trying to sign up for a class for it, and then I never did. But energy is real. It's so crazy. I feel like not a lot of people believe in the fact that your energy doesn't only impact your life, your energy impacts other people's lives, the people that are around you. And the energy that you put out is either bad or it's good. And that's the energy that you're putting out to the world, and that's going to come back to you. And it's crazy, and it sounds a little crazy, and a lot of people are going to be like, these girls are crazy. But believe me, you need to go have one of those, I don't even know, Reiki massages. I don't even know what they're called.
Yeah, it's Reiki. Her name is Francie.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Awesome.
So good. She actually still sends me emails.
Yeah, she's awesome. And, you know, it's, I actually had a Reiki session by accident when I was living in Southern California.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was just like, I thought I was going to get a massage, you know, and because I like my spa days. But yeah, and that's when I was like, okay, you know, when I came back up here to Northern Cal, I was like, okay, I'm having some issues. I need to see someone. And that's how I came across her. And she's just phenomenal. There are some people out there that, you know, they don't know what they're doing, but she's good.
She's good. She's definitely good.
Yeah. But I do agree with you is that, you know, a lot of people think it's crazy or whatever, but, you know, I do believe in energy. That's when we know, okay, that person is going to be my new best friend, or, yeah, that person's giving me a weird vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
From the get to.
Yeah, it's the same. The vibe is the same thing as energy. I mean, to me, it's all the same. And it's, you know, it taps into our intuition and everything else, our attitude, all that kind of stuff.
Totally agree. So everybody learn to focus your energy wherever you want it to go.
Yes.
If you can, go get a Reiki massage. I don't even know if it's a massage or not, but just try it. And just try to find ways to make routines, have routines throughout your day. Learn to set goals for yourself. If you want to see a change in the world, make sure that you're also writing it down. It makes a really big difference when you write everything down. Yeah. And you're going to be hold yourself more accountable when you write it down and then you forget about it. But then a month later, you're like, oh, I was supposed to go do this because this matters to me. And eventually you're going to get it done. So listen to your body, listen to the energy that you get from everybody in your inner circle, your outer circle, and learn to just shift. When you're having a bad day, you can have a bad day. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. The next day, come back and kill it. And if the next day ain't the day, then just keep, you know, going until you're able to get out of it. It takes some people longer to get out of, you know, the darkness than other people, and talk to somebody about it.
Yes. Just have the conversation.
Just have the conversation with somebody, your friend.
Anybody. It makes a difference. It really does. It makes a difference.
So learn to shift your energy, focus on good things. Try not to get so wrapped up on the bad things that are in the world right now. Pay attention, and yes, make changes so other people can have a better life, but it starts with you.
Yes, it does. I like your energy. Thanks.
I love your energy. All right, guys, till next time, we'll see you later.